operation. Joining us right now is Republican Congressman Mike Turner from Ohio. He sits on House Armed Services Committee, of course, and just until quite recently was the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. So we just learned that new detail that we heard from General Kane on the strikes. And as it was described from some, much smarter military minds than I could ever pretend to be, that is exactly as it was intended to play out, what General Kane was describing. What's your reaction to that detail we just learned?
Well, I think what's important, Kate, and I think it's important for CNN in its reporting, is that this has been a mission that has been planned out really for a substantial period of time, over a decade. I've been chairman also of the Strategic Forces Subcommittee on the Armed Services Committee, where we have the oversight of nuclear weapons, but also the issue of other regimes like Iran, issues of the threats of nuclear regimes. And, this is something that the Department of Defense has uniquely planned for. This is not something that was, just a midnight event that occurred. The Department of Defense knew what they were doing here. The people who executed it knew what they were doing. This was a precision execution, and obviously it was incredibly effective. This was important. This diminished significantly Iran's capabilities. And what I think is also important is, as we look to what's going to happen in the Middle East, the Ayatollah is still in hiding as we see this unfold. Now we have to go to the next phase, and that is hopefully peace between Israel, Iran, and the United States.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that next step in just a second. And maybe that's part of what you're curious in, because the House is getting its classified briefing tomorrow. What level of detail are you hoping to get? Is there one specific question that you are hoping to get detail on at this moment?
Well, certainly this has been going on for some time between Israel and Iran, as Israel has been so incredibly effective in diminishing Iran's terrorist proxy network, because Iran is a terrorist state. What they have done with Hamas, Hezbollah, what the United States has done also with the Houthis, has permitted in part Israel's efforts, where they've been able to diminish Iran's ability to defend itself, permitting then their military exercises, their entrance into Iran, and then, of course, the United States entering into this attack on these nuclear uranium enrichment facilities. Now we need to do an assessment. What is Iran's capabilities? Where do we go from here? What do we expect is the longevity of this regime? What is the stability of the regime? How do we think that we might be able to establish the security for peace for Israel, and hopefully relationships between Iran, Israel, and the United States?
Yeah, there's also new reporting today coming from the White House that after the leak of the preliminary DIA assessment, that the White House, the Trump administration, is going to limit the amount of classified detail and information that they will be sharing with Congress, again, even in classified settings. Do you find that acceptable? Do you want the administration to limit what they're sharing with you in a classified setting?
I don't believe rumors like that. I believe, of course, that the information is going to continue to flow and be shared with Congress. And I certainly believe that this is a period of time in which all of the integration, both with the Armed Services Committee that I serve on, the Intelligence Committee, the House, the Senate, is going to continue to be exchanged as we look to, what do we do next, and how do we continue to support Israel, our ally, and ensure that, the Middle East transitions in a way that, we have stability and the opportunity for, a real opportunity for peace. What the president has done gives a real opportunity to ensure that we do not have a nuclear regime with Iran.
If, and again, this is an if, just to gauge what your appetite, though, is at this moment of supporting more U.S. military action if you see it as needed. If now after these strikes it shows that Iran still has nuclear capability and still has to develop a nuclear weapon, still has a desire to develop a nuclear weapon, Do you want to see more U.S. military action? I heard Ryan Zinke say this morning there's going to be more holes in the ground if they see kind of enriched uranium in other locations.
Well, I think no one wants to see additional military action, but even the president himself, President Trump, when he addressed the nation from the White House after the military action occurred, warned Iran that if peace doesn't occur and if they continued down this path of seeking a nuclear weapon or even continued to threaten Israel's existence, that there would be the threat of additional attacks. The president has been very clear. Every administration has been very clear. The United States will not permit Iran to be a nuclear state.
Real quick, the Ayatollah did issue his first statement since the Iran-Israel ceasefire went into effect, and said quite a bit, saying that victory over a fake Zionist regime in Israel, but also said as part of this, the Americans did not gain anything in this war. What do you make of a statement like that from the Ayatollah?
Well, I think that's what's really unfortunate about the last couple of days of reporting, where the leaked report was given weight that is just not valid for the speculation that was coming from it, because where it was promoted as if it was even accurate or a true assessment of Iranian capabilities and a failure on the part of this military action, because it really bolsters the Ayatollah. He's still in hiding. This was not just a political debate that was happening in the United States. This is an actual military confrontation and a military issue that is occurring where the Ayatollah is in hiding. This was bolstering the Ayatollah while he's in hiding. He's using this as he's doing, this statement of the United States has not had anything, from this. He wants the world to believe that. It is not true. Clearly he has been diminished. His regime has been diminished significantly. It is time now for Iran to move forward as a diminished regime where the opportunity for peace is here, and he should take that opportunity. His regime should take that opportunity. The Iranian people should take that opportunity.
We got to go, but we'll move, and we are going to move past this, because I'm going to reiterate one more time, as I did throughout the last hour, Congressman, what we heard from Hegseth and what you were implying about CNN's coverage of the DIA assessment. What we heard in the outrage over it is confirming what CNN reported from the beginning, though it might not be reporting that you enjoy or that the administration enjoys. I listed it out specifically reading from parts of CNN's reporting. What the outrage is over confirms what CNN put as part of its reporting throughout, which is that it is preliminary, which is that as part of the DIA analysis, we reported that sources said the judgments were of low confidence, that it was not coordinated with the wider intelligence community. I could go on and read it, but I already did that once in the last hour. But
well,
with that,
Kate, you can characterize it that way now. I watched it as it was
I'm
occurring.
not characterizing it. I'm not characterizing it. I'm literally reading it. Congressman,
it was reported as accurate. It is not accurate. It was not accurate then.
I'm reporting exactly what our reporting was online and on air throughout with this reporting. You can hear part of it and not like it, but you do need to listen to all of it to understand the full breadth of the reporting. Congressman, thank you for coming on.